How would you like to double your motivation, your consistency, and success? If that's something you're interested in, watch this all the way through because I'm going to give you 4 scientifically proven tools that have been shown to do just that. Hi guys, welcome to High Thriving Health. My name is Daniel Torres, and by the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can intentionally double your motivation and consistency, not only in working out, but in any area. Because if we want to be intentional about our results, we're definitely going to want to be intentional about our motivation. Think of that, double your results, double your success by just using these techniques. And the best part is they literally take less than 60 seconds. If that sounds absolutely fantastic, give me a thumbs up and be sure you subscribe. That way you can receive notifications on my weekly videos that teach how to maximize your health, your happiness, and success. To get started, the very first step to make this personal and relevant to you is answering this question. What behavior or habit would you like to be more motivated or consistent at? Let me know in the comments that you actually have something in particular in mind by just writing one word, yes. I'm now going to transition into the full whiteboard animation just for the first 3 tools. That way I can draw out crystal clear the details and the steps that you need to make these things real. Tool number 1 is called habit stacking, which I briefly spoke on in my last video about forming habits. What you do is pair your new habit with a current habit. You take advantage of your strong habits to build new ones. Established habits are the best triggers to build more new habits. So you insert a new or inconsistent behavior immediately after or in the middle of an established routine. For example, when I first started exercising in the morning, it was the last thing that I felt like doing. So I used my established habit of meditation as my trigger to start exercise. Structuring habits in this way brings momentum with you into the next activity. When you just get done doing something healthy, you're far more likely to do another good thing. You'll find it much easier to perform the new task since you're already coming from a place of strength. Brainstorm a list of habits you already have and search for the best place to insert your new habit. Find a good match. You can create a morning stack of habits, an evening stack of habits, a stack of habits to go with social interactions, or any area you would like to maximize. What current habit do you already do each day that you could stack your new behavior on top of? The second tool to leverage extreme motivation is called implementation intention. This is when you plan beforehand the when and where you will work out. It's important to actually physically write this down. You make crystal clear the time and location you plan on doing something. The more clear you are about these 2 basic details, the easier it will be to follow through on because it programs our brain how you're going to respond ahead of time. Doing this will plant the urge to act on that commitment to be there, to show up at the right time, in the right place. Make it obvious by actually writing it down. You do this when willpower is very high. You make the decision, which helps your brain beforehand commit in advance rather than deciding in the moment what you're going to do. So for example, if you want to be more consistent in working out, you may write something down such as, I will engage in 20 minutes of running tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. on my treadmill. Use the implementation sentence, which you see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, to directly apply to your personal activity. Number 3 is chunking. Chunking is simply when you take a large task and break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces. For example, I relied on chunking to finish my first marathon. After I had drastically hit the wall, I ended up spending the last 8 miles just telling myself to make it to the next light post. If you're having a hard time starting a workout, you might just tell yourself, all I need to do is just get to the gym, or all I need to do is just perform this first 5 minutes. Because when you break down a big task into smaller, bite-sized pieces, you present it to your brain in such a way that your brain says, okay, this is definitely doable. And when that happens, it's going to become much easier for you to start, or to keep going. The last idea is called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when we learn and understand a subject or topic that we're trying to adopt or develop to such an extent that it becomes very difficult for us to act inconsistent with that healthy behavior. For example, let's just say that you have an issue eating too much sugar. Well, if you really sat down and you really start to uncover the truth about sugar and all its effects, if you started to learn what exactly it does to the body, to the brain, to your energy levels, to your mood, to things like leptin and ghrelin, how it promotes fat storage and propagates nearly any major disease, it's going to start to be very uncomfortable and difficult for you to continue to eat sugar. This is because those ideas about sugar and the truth of it start to become more profound in your mind, more significant and internalized. It's going to become common sense to stay away from it. And as you continue to expand your understanding and fill in all your gaps of knowledge and answer the what and the why behind these concepts, which is going to lead you to understand the deeper meanings, your brain is going to naturally become more convinced to live in healthier ways. Back to the sugar example, you're going to naturally start to develop the belief that giving up sugar or eating less of it is in your best interest. So to implement cognitive dissonance, be sure that you have an effective study plan, a plan that's going to allow you to discover the what and the why behind your topic of interest. And as you do, your desire to reach for unhealthy behaviors is going to naturally grow less and less. So here are the 4 psychological tricks to 2 or 3 times your motivation to work out or keep any commitment. First is habit stacking, where you intentionally place a weak or inconsistent behavior immediately following an established habit. Second is implementation intention, where you physically write down the day before the time and the location that you have planned. Third is chunking, which is taking a large task and breaking it down to tiny, bite-sized pieces. And fourth is cognitive dissonance, where you learn your topic of choice so thoroughly, so deeply, it's become internalized in the mind that the idea of being at all inconsistent becomes very uncomfortable. You can use all these techniques like a tool to make changes in your life. In conclusion, if motivation has been any sort of problem for you, do not worry, because each of these techniques can be learned by anyone. If you can apply them to self-improvement, you're going to find massive amounts of success. Let me know in the comments what your tool is that you're going to use to be more motivated and consistent. If you haven't already, be sure that you subscribe, give me a thumbs up, let me know any questions that you have. Follow me on Instagram at High Thriving Health, and stay tuned, guys.